Hi, acknowledging the loss of the hope you had for a breakup is part of getting through the disappointment. So it's important that you look at what we talked about in the prior video, which I will link, which is dealing with the pain that comes from sadness and also from tenderness, but also acknowledging the loss of hope, things that are probably just not going to happen now that you are not with this person anymore. And ouch, does that hurt? Hi, my name is Olivia. I'm passionate about helping you understand relational trauma, what it is, how to overcome it, and ultimately move on with your life. So today is all about how to deal with the loss of some of that hope, which is very painful. And again, this isn't therapy. So if it's ever too overwhelming, you definitely want to seek help from a local professional in your area. But if you feel like you're functioning, meaning you're sleeping, you're eating, you're going to work, and you just want some more help to things to think about, things to write about to kind of help you on your journey, then this is definitely for you. So first thing, looking at the hope that we're going to have to face has come to an end when we're getting through the disappointment of a breakup. There are certain things you can look at and identify and write about, and it can be really helpful to sort of like start to unhook from that spider web of hope. Because truly, hope is usually not just a single thing. It's like, I'm hoping for this, which has 3 more hopes attached to that. And each one of those has 3 more, and each one of those has, so you can see it's like a spider web of hope, actually, not just a single hope. So this hope is, some hopes die hard. That's a real thing. Some hopes are really hard to let go of. You can't really let go of it until you acknowledge it. So that's what this portion is for. So all of this, again, is coming from I Can't Believe How Much This Hurts. You can find it on Amazon. It's on sale right now as we go through the series. Looking at this, it comes from page 24. Here is some things that we can look at. So thinking about what are some of the plans you had. So if you're thinking of plans, that's usually attached to the future. Now you can start to see how some of these spider webs are kind of vining out into the future. So what were some of the plans you had? Maybe it could be, maybe you planned to build a cabin. Maybe you had plans of where you were going to travel. Maybe you had plans for like your golden years. Maybe you had plans for how you wanted to, have children, or if you had children, things you wanted to do with children. Any future plans you had with the relationship that just, it's not going to happen. It may still happen, but it would look different probably if you're not with that person anymore. Write about some of the things that you were going to do that are just probably not going to happen. And again, just a reminder, if this is ever too painful or too hard, take a break and you can always come back to it. Or if it's too hard, then seek help from a professional in your area to help you through it. Okay, here's another one. Looking at a list of hopes that you had in the relationship that were not going to happen. So what are other hopes you had with this person specifically? So we talked about future plans. Maybe it's things that you were hoping were going to change. What did you think, if this changed, then this could be this? What were some of those changes you were hoping for? What were some of the things you were waiting to occur so you could feel safe and secure, but they just never did? Or maybe they did, but you had them once and then you lost them and it never came back again. And you're hoping they would come back. So just thinking as far and wide, as many hopes as you can think of in any direction, that's really what you want to write about. So I always recommend notebook and paper. Notebook is paper, sorry. Pen and paper, or notebook and paper, or pen, pencil, however you want to write. But really writing it out. And I suppose if you're more digitally inclined, then yeah, you could type it out on your computer. That would probably be fine too. I'm kind of old-fashioned in the pen and paper, but really do what works for you. However you need to get it out and write about it, that is going to be best. This is not something we're sending to our ex. This is not something we're going to talk about with our ex, because remember, if you emote with your ex, which means you share what you're thinking or what you're feeling, that's going to keep you hooked and stuck in the relationship. So the more of this and this you give up to your ex, the more bonded you're going to continue to stay and the more hooked you're going to be to them. And it's going to feel impossible to move on and let go. So you have to have that time where you're not sharing this and this with your ex. So it's where pen and paper is real handy, or use your computer to get your thoughts out and your feelings out. So you really want to talk about the hope and also the hurt attached to not being able to see that come true. So how does it feel? What is the pain associated with realizing we're just not going to build that cabin? We're just not going to do this with children. We're just not going to do this with our children. Whatever any of the hopes were, write about what it is that you're not going to be able to do anymore, and also how that feels. What is the pain that you feel with that? Because it's amazing. It's almost like we don't want to deal with the disappointment, and so we kind of sidestep it, right? We either try to hurry and get another person. We can run to a substance. We can run to television. We can run to food. There's shopping. There's so many ways we try to mask the emotions that come from the disappointment that keep us from dealing with it. And really, dealing with it is the real way to be able to move on. But it's like, who could do it? We don't really know how to do it most times. So doing a simple exercise like this helps you pull it to the forefront. It allows you to set it on the table. You can sort through it, look at it, acknowledge it. And a lot of times it just doesn't look the same. And a lot of times it no longer feels the same. So it's kind of dulling the power it had over you just by acknowledging it, which is the one thing we don't want to do when we're going through a breakup. So depending on where you're at in the process, depending how you're feeling, you just learn to trust yourself. If you feel like this is too much for you to do right now, it probably is, and you can seek help from a professional. Or if you feel like, no, I'm feeling good, I'm going to try it, and that changes, then you change with it. So again, you can find this on Amazon. I can also leave a link for the course in the description. I'm going to put up some videos for you to go and watch if you're interested in doing more exercises to help you get through your breakup. So take good care, and I'll see you in the next one.